One.
Welcome everyone to our broadcast in the international version now, and also welcome again Henny and welcome Merlin, and thanks again for joining us. So yeah, we can just dive right into it if you like.
Yes.
Okay, so the first question area is about exchange and study abroad, so I will start with the questions from that. And the first question is, can you switch the exchange and internship semesters?
Yeah. Well, you can. It is allowed, but we don't advise it because the graduation year has changed quite a bit. Usually it was an internship for a certain amount of months, and then the thesis was written, but now it's more intertwined. So it's more like one big project that you're doing. So we advise to do the minor first and then the graduation, which includes the internship.
But it's allowed.
Yeah, but it is allowed.
Okay,
yeah.
so but the minor is going to be even connected to the graduation project?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, cool, thanks. Then the next question is, how does exchange and study abroad work, and to whom can I talk about all the options? Well, yeah.
So that's a really broad question.
Yeah.
And there's a simple answer. Look at Blackboard, look at the website from NHL Stenden, and there's an international office, and they can give answers to this in general. Because
Yes.
it's too much to do in a 20-minute session.
Absolutely. Yeah, also recently we had a little fair again where the exchange and the grant tours were explained again, where you had the options to ask questions. So this is coming also every once in a while. The next one is probably going to be in October, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, the
So
minor market. Yeah.
Yes, so the minor market is going to be once a semester, so you can check that out, and there you get a lot of information actually. Cool. Then the next question is, about especially about this year. Of course, like we are kind of a lot of students are a bit uncertain about how it's going to look like. But the main question is here: is the exchange and study abroad projects, are they still going to happen this year? So I guess this is like probably focused on like from September on.
Yeah. Well, we did a similar session in December of last year, and then I had to answer that I didn't know. It's almost April, and I still don't know. Like everybody in the world doesn't know. Mid-April, the international office will say something about it. They hope to give a positive answer, of course, but if it's going to happen, we don't know. We keep on hoping, but
It's not up to you guys in general.
No, it's still uncertain,
right?
and it's different per country. So yeah.
Okay. Are there maybe any ideas or plans from you guys, like how you can like structure it, kind of like how you can make like, say like here these countries are available, this is possible maybe to get any kind of organization into this, or is it just that you're going to kind of go with the flow and see what's possible?
I don't think that is possible. I think the Netherlands on itself and our grand tour sites are complex enough to handle.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Then the next one would be, I heard that question also before. Is the grand tour connected to any kind of grades, or do the grades have an influence on the grand tour?
No. So the simple answer is no. As soon as you've passed your first year, you can do the grand tour. And there's no limit or no rule or whatever about grades or something like that. If you do an exchange minor, some universities might make a selection on who's got the highest grade, but then there are no restrictions from our side.
Okay. Follow-up question to that. So you mean they are going to decide like from the students only from our university, or you mean they also might going to compare students from different?
Probably, yeah. But that's up to their own application kind of procedure they have. So some exchange, partner universities might have restrictions on who's entering or who not. Or if they have a lot of applications, they will make a choice, and probably a higher grade will help you.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But
Yeah,
to us, it
and-
doesn't make
Yeah, and
any
for the grand
difference.
tour, it's like first come, first serve.
Yeah,
So you have to be applying on time.
yeah.
Okay. So that's
So-
also a bit dependent on, like, I know that you need the PPD signature for your application. So the sooner you got this, the better it is, basically, right?
Probably, yeah. And the PPD signature is just a kind of a formal procedure. But if you want, you can get it right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking you can
Yeah.
get it in advance from your PPD,
Yeah.
right? You don't need to wait for that. The application forms are going to be available from the beginning, right? And even before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So here you go. You can also do that. Cool. Alrighty. Then the next question is. Okay. Well, that question is a bit. The question is already a bit. Well, I'm just going to ask about you.
Yeah.
Should we apply for a minor if we are nominated for exchange?
Yeah, I understand it's a bit of a fake question. If you are nominated, of course, it's nominee means that you're not 100% certain that you will get the place. So it's always good to have a plan B. But if you want to go for exchange, then you don't have to apply for a minor at the NHL stand.
Yeah. I think the question is probably referred to the minor at the exchange university, because I know that I already know that the process is that you apply for the exchange university, and then you're gonna get sorted into a minor. So first it's the university, okay, and then the minor is gonna be decided.
Oh.
Because in the grand tour it's the other way around,
Yeah.
right? First you decide for the minor, and then you look. for the
Oh,
university.
that's what they mean. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically the question would be like, do they need to apply for a minor, like even after
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are nominated already?
Yeah.
Probably that's the question.
Maybe.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Also depends probably on each and every university. in that sense.
Yeah, and all the information can be found on intranet. So
Yeah,
if you want to make sure, go to the internet.
true.
Yeah.
In general, very good advice about this. Just get in touch with the university, with the exchange universities. I think that's what you can do. Okay, then the next question is, okay, that's probably from a student who's not that long yet in the NHL. What is Grand Tour actually? Can you explain a little bit what the Grand Tour is all about?
Oh, that's a new question. Well, we have our Grand Tour sites in South Africa, at Bali, in Qatar, and in Thailand. We have one minor ourselves in Thailand. It's integrated digital marketing. It's comparable to exchange, but the Grand Tour is at our own school only in a different part of the world, with teachers that know the situation in the Netherlands. We all know each other, so it is different than exchange because it's more. Well, it's more like
basically.
it's more like being here, but then in a different country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to add anything?
And of course you
No.
have more students that also come from the Netherlands that participate with you. Usually when you go on exchange,
true.
you're maybe the only one that is doing the exchange there, and there it's quite large, the groups.
True.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also about that, definitely check out the website for that. You get a lot of information about the Grand Tour, even more than about the exchange on the website for that. So, yeah.
And what we always advise is if you get the chance to do an exchange or Grand Tour, go for it. Go abroad, get that international mindset. So, yeah.
I can imagine. It
Yeah.
must be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I talked to one student who was on Bali for her minor, and it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Must be really cool.
Yeah.
Spend all days at the beach, cheap
Well,
food.
basically, right?
Well, classes in the morning
Yeah.
and then.
Yes. Or in South Africa, you have monkeys on the campus. By the way, like you also added China now to the Grand Tour, isn't it?
It's not formal yet.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Still on
Yeah.
maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where, like, kind of at which point you might have like a?
I don't think it's on the top of mind of the executive board right now
No,
due to
probably
the
not,
COVID, but in due time it will be announced formally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Well, okay, that would be all the questions about the exchange and study abroad. Then we can continue with the internships. So the first question is, okay, well that is probably just a general, also a bit of kind of a broad question, but the student is wondering if there is going to be more help provided in the future for international students regarding the internships?
And I think the answer is probably no. So we would like to help as much as we can. For Dutch students, it's easy. We've got a media stages. That's a kind of a point that connects all companies to the students. But it's hard to organize this for all foreign countries. And we don't have all the contacts with all with all companies in all these different countries. I know that there will be some more information on Blackboard soon about German companies, because we have a lot of German students, and we have at least one German lecturer, and she will connect.
Two already.
Yeah, but she will connect us to this this kind of German. I don't know what it's called. It's not a company, but it's kind of a thing that combines companies to us.
Oh yeah, cool.
And there's a consultation hour I believe it's each Tuesday, where Lianne Nadorp and Marijke Schuilenburg, which are the people running the internship office, they are there for answering questions. So.
Really? Every Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it's every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh really? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And they also get vacancies. So sometimes we have students working for a company, and then they want a new student from us, and they will send a vacancy to Lianne and Marijke, and it might help. So they may have some contacts abroad.
Yeah, and what is also on Blackboard is a list of students that did prior internships in wherever. So maybe that also gives an idea to other new students that are looking for an internship.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's more information on Blackboard now than a couple of weeks ago.
But this might be an interesting question for a student who wants to do some extra work and create a kind of a platform.
I was just thinking about it would be an interesting USP project, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's something to keep in mind. I would say. Nice. And this stream from the three people you just mentioned, from the grant to exchange, what was that from again? The
intern.
From the internship, I forgot the names.
You mean Marijke Schuilenburg and Lianne Nadorp?
Yeah. Where can that be found?
Well, they have. Where can that be found? I think that's also on the intranet, on our own page.
Yeah. Okay.
Go to Blackboard, look for CB Year 4 internship, and then you will find more information on when, how, and what.
Great. Cool. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. Then the next question is. How exactly does the process of the graduation project work? So what requirements are given for that?
So that's probably for the year 4 from Creative Business. So the exact procedure will be on Blackboard. I'm not going to explain the exact procedure, but in general what you're going to do is you've got 7 months working for a company, internship, and at the same time you will be working on your graduation project. So you will have to find a company that's interesting enough to do also your graduation thing. They have to kind of have an assignment or a wicked problem you have to solve. After those 7 months, you've got 2 more months to complete your documentation, and then someone will grade you, and maybe you fail, maybe you pass.
Okay.
So in general, if you start in September, the deadline will be in May, and you've got June to repair stuff or do some extra stuff for that.
Yeah, like you're used to in year 1, 2, and 3. We also have, of course, the PPD component, which is also in year 4.
Oh, also. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of the failing, is there also going to be reset then again, with other?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So you still have a chance to get it back again. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That sounds understandable. Maybe if you are a fast-track student right now and you might going to wonder how the process is for you, we're going to come back to that later also again. Okay, so then the next one is, will students get the screening document and contract for their internships as they would like to know what requirements the company needs to fulfill? Do you understand that question?
Yeah, a couple of weeks we didn't have that on Blackboard yet, but because we were still developing year 4. But they are available now on the Blackboard also.
Okay.
So all forms can be found there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Cool. Then the next one is, will the Adobe package be available for us again to create the interactive portfolio in CB4?
No, unfortunately not. So it was free as a kind of I don't know. Dutch word.
Extra service.
Yeah, extra service. But we can't continue paying for the entire package for all the students. You can go to SurfSpot, that's a website, and then you can get it for like 120 or 140 euros a year. So that's something like 10 euros a month.
True. Also, I very much recommended by most students to share that account with 2 people, because you can use, I think, how many devices? Like
two
or 3 or something like 2.
Yeah.
So you can do it also on 2 devices, which I'm doing, for example, too. Cool. All right.
So that's only 5 euros a month.
Exactly, not that much.
No.
Awesome. Then the next one is, can there be an international internship market one? Can there be an international internship market one day with recruiters that want to speak, for example? So probably that's referred to the grant to exchange market that's normally happening physically. So if something like that could maybe happen also for the exchange,
No, it's for internship, I guess.
Yeah, it's for internship, but I think that some people may have heard that the hotel school does offer that.
Okay.
But of course, the hotel school is a lot bigger than creative business, and we're not able to do to organize that yet. But maybe in the future we will, because we are an international program, so it would be cool to have. Maybe we now know that a lot of things can be done online, so maybe, But for now, it's not possible.
Yeah. Well, how about that was just a thing that came up to my mind. How about a cooperation maybe with, like, for example, CB studies in Groningen or like in other universities? Maybe together.
Yeah.
Could also be an idea.
We can look into the possibilities.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Then where was I? Yeah. Well, okay, that question was answered now, I think, profoundly. Where you can find information about internships. Blackboard.
Blackboard.
Definitely, yeah. So that's, you just updated this whole area, and so there is a lot of information provided now, if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And that was underneath the areas Creative Business 4, you said?
Yeah.
Basically, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, all right. Good, that would be all the questions about like exchange, grant to internships. Always a big subject, very important for a lot of students, understandably, because it's, it's very exciting. It's about international traveling. It's about like applications and all that stuff. So
and especially when you have not been able to do your exchange abroad, then maybe the internship can be done abroad.
Exactly.
You never know. So let's hope so.
Yes, definitely. But I think we have a lot of information now. So already. So thanks.
Yep.
Cool. Then the next area would be about the COVID measurements at the university. There, the first question is like the study, like of course, like we know like how it is at the moment, but how is like the view now to the future? Like, is there a schedule planned, or is there anything planned now for the next month, like in terms of opening, closing, or whatever?
Well, the press conference that we had last Tuesday announced that we will be opening up, hopefully after April 26th. But we haven't scheduled anything yet, because we will have to wait for the press conference just a couple of weeks before that date to see how the vaccinations are going, how it's about how the total situation is. We have to look at it per week. Yeah. Maybe sometimes per day. So
Yes, we saw Germany.
We hope when it's possible we will open up, but
I think what many students are wondering, I'm just going to go through the second question to be sure that this is not doubling up. Okay. So I think what just some students are wondering is, for example, when you go to the UK, like universities and schools said they've like already like 2 months ago or something, or even longer ago, that they're going to stay closed until the summer. I think some students just would like to have more certainty, for example, maybe when they have to travel or something. I guess that's what it's all about.
Our executive board has not made that decision, and I don't think they will. I think we are of the opinion that when we can open, that we will. Maybe partially, but I don't think there will be made a decision that we are not opening up until the summer. Because I do know that some universities have already made that decision, but it doesn't look like that here.
Okay,
No.
good. All right. Then the next one is when that's a specific questions in terms of measurements and how it's going to be done exactly. And I don't even know if that can be applied in the Netherlands in that sense. But when the university reopens, and we are only allowed to, like, it's already, I don't know if that's even going to happen, so, and we are only allowed to enter this building with a negative test result. I don't know, has that ever been announced?
No, the Association of Universities in the Netherlands is looking into that matter
Okay.
together with the Ministry of Education. So they're still debating if that will be necessary. Hopefully we'll know in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And if so, then we will provide quick tests. We will facilitate that at school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, if that's a requirement, then you're definitely going to take care of that.
Well, it's not only for students, but then also co-workers here have to.
Yeah.
All measurements go for us too. So.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then, so the question was if the university is going to provide these tests, or if the students have to take care of that themselves. So, you will provide, of course, right? Yeah. I think that's also a bit too much to ask for every student to get a test.
And maybe it's like the situation in September where you didn't have to have a negative test.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't have any complaints, you were allowed to enter the building. So we don't know what situation will be like.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe soon we're going to have this kind of light scanning thing that has been introduced
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Amsterdam
Yeah.
a few months ago. You saw that?
Yeah.
Maybe we can just place it in front of the entry.
Yeah.
Would be an easy solution. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's actually this time already everything about the COVID measurements. I think that's quite short. So okay.
Nice.
Good. Then we can just come now to the general questions. So all kinds of questions that are left, and we are starting with the study fees. So there were informations like released in between student groups and stuff that the studies fees for the upcoming year are going to be reduced, like as if you would basically start with the first year, like that they're going to be reduced on half price due to the situation with the corona epidemic and that probably students are not having that many options now to earn money and to have an income. So is that actually true? Are the study fees going to be reduced next year?
So yeah, that's a government decision. So it will be reduced, but only for EU students.
Ah, yeah.
So for the English students who just had Brexit, sorry. And also for students from outside of Europe, it will be. We're not sure yet how it's going to be. And maybe our board will decide that they will also have to pay less, but it's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
At this moment, it's only for the EU students, European.
Yeah, because it is. It is in general a European agreement with the half price.
Yeah.
And, but this will still be like just more in terms of the corona pandemic.
Yeah, well, the EU fee is based on the fact that we get money from the Dutch government, and for non-European students we don't get any money, so then we would have to pay it ourselves.
Yeah, I was just thinking like if this should be like if this is going to be introduced, of course you will need to get what do you say supplements. For that, or like that you're going to get the money that you're going to be missing, because you're also a business, of course, that you get this from the government.
Yeah. Our teachers need to get their paycheck
Exactly.
every month, so
yeah. Okay, but so that's we have to wait for the decision of the government. Okay, good. Then the next one is, are you in general, like the question is about like how the studies in the last year developed and how students felt about it. Are you about that in contact with governmental institutions or other universities about how their students experienced their studies last year and what are the best methods and tools to actually help them to cope with that and to keep them engaged and everything? Have like kind of nationwide maybe talks or surveys in that sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact between all the universities on how it's going, and I think we've got a fair kind of idea on how students experience studying but we're still working on methods on improving the kind of hybrid model or an online model, how to connect better with students. So I can understand everything is new to us as well. So some kind of distance is being felt by students right now, and we're working on improving that. And so there's a lot of communication, and we learn a lot from other students and universities as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and of course our counselors are still available. It is through by phone. So it's consult by phone, but they are still available. And we also have some how do you call it? Some help lines available.
Yeah, that's what you're
yeah.
referring to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you do need a counselor, just make an appointment through the information desk. It's also possible. Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah.
Also about that, we're going to share with you students, like from Stuco, we're going to share with you an information sheet very soon. It's going to be released in the midst of April, where you can find all these phone numbers and all the websites and every single thing like gathered together. So you can find these informations there very soon. Okay, great. Then, one moment. I think we have a little questions about something we talked about before. Let me just go through it. Okay, the students who joined us live now, they mentioned that like it's about internships again. The screening documents that they have been online, but they were taken down again, so they're not available right now. And they're saying they're in urgent need of those. So,
okay.
So we'll have to get into that.
Yeah.
Put it back online again.
Maybe the office saw a little mistake in it, and they thought maybe we will get them off. But then, I think in the run of next week they will be on again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned about that, guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Then what? Again, back to the general questions. This one is a question referred to something we almost talked about before already, which are the grades and the influence that they're having. So what actual purpose do the grades of creative business really have? That's the question basically. But many students are wondering about that. I heard the student ask, I heard that they can influence the decision-making process for your spots at the grant, for example, or the exchange project. Is that true? And we talked about this before basically. And or is there any other influence or anything else that grades are actually having an influence on?
So the reason why we have grades, it's kind of a cultural thing. Because somewhere in our culture, someone decided you have to have a grade like from 1 to 10, or in France it's from 1 to 20, or in Germany, I don't know. There's a system, and people kind of feel a need to know if they're really good or better than good, or they're really bad, and they use grades to kind of tell them how good they are. For PPD we don't use any grades anymore, because you either do it or you don't do it, so it's a fail or a pass. But I think internationally there's a big demand on having grades, and some companies really think it's important to have high grades. Some cultures like in Germany.
Yeah, I think in Germany it's quite important.
Yeah.
In accordance with your study financing or not?
Yeah. We are basically, our system is almost based on grades in terms of which studies you can join.
So the Dutch system isn't. So you can, if you've got a 6, it's good. No, that's our culture. 6 is good enough because you've passed. When you study in like Groningen University, you get a kind of a paper that explains to foreign cultures how we grade people, so that and there's a saying that 10 is for God, 9 is for the professor, and 8 is for the best student. So
wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that's
I'm feeling pretty self-confident right now.
But because it's kind of important in some cultures, we have to give grades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, students don't need to worry about anything in terms of grades, that they're gonna have less higher chance of getting a spot with the grantor, because you already mentioned that's first come first
It does
serve.
come for the exchange, but it doesn't go for the Grand Tour.
Again, for the
Yeah.
exchange it might actually be
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, that's my personal view on that is I really like that Dutch system about that. I think.
As long as you get your ECs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, grading can be helpful,
Yeah.
definitely, but I really don't like when, like, for example, humans are just humans, and when you have a bad day and on the exam or something, then you get a bad grade, and that's determining basically the rest of your life, for example. I think this is absolute, questionable, but but that's good to know.
Yeah.
So students can be a bit relaxed about this whole stuff.
Not too relaxed.
Not too relaxed, though, of course, because they still should get that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's maybe for new students, because they might have not gotten into this yet, a 5.5 is the one that you need to get to,
Yeah.
to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so at least that. Okay, then the last question is from this area, and it is apparently also the last question for our session already. Many fast track students, we're coming back to the subject now with the fast track students. They are not entirely sure how their third year is going to look like exactly. So can you maybe just say one or two things about the general structure of the fast track students, also in terms of what we just talked about with what you said before.
Yeah, the third year begins with doing a minor in module period 1, which is 15 ECs then, but some of the fast track students choose to do a minor of 30 ECs, which they don't have to do because 15 ECs is enough. So depending on that, if you just do the regular one, just doing one module of, one minor of 15 ECs, then you start with your graduation in period 2, 3 and 4, which also combines your internship, so it's your internship and your graduation project together.
Yeah. Okay. So you can basically imagine you come into the first year and you can either do like one minor, or you said a minor which is 30 ECs.
Yeah.
Would that equal also a longer time frame for the minor? Right. So that would basically mean like not like how long? I don't even know.
Well,
how long
normally
is
you
one
would
minor?
graduate somewhere in June or July, but then we're not sure if we are going to allow internships to last during the summer. We haven't got a policy on that yet, but if so, then you would graduate somewhere in September, October.
Yeah. So then the fast track is just a little bit less fast track, but it's still faster than the normal program.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the process is the same with like what you described before with the graduation project, like the 7 months and the 2 months.
Yeah, but it will be less months because it's a fast program. So I believe it's 5 months, a minimum of 5 months internship.
Yeah. Okay. And is there also an option to, like I was asked before, to swap these two, like to do the graduation project first and do the minor or the exchange? After that?
It is allowed, but we don't advise to do so.
Again.
It would be a bit weird being close to graduation and then still having to do your minor.
I know, right? It's kind of
but it is possible.
But I heard that people did that before, like for whatever reason they want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is also possible for students in the fast track course, of course, to do an exchange instead of the minor, right? And that will basically always equal 30 ECs. So it will always be not just the short minor, but always from the time frame, the same like the 30 ECs minor, right?
I don't know exactly what you mean.
Sorry, it is. You normally need to kind of visualize that on the timeline to really understand what we're talking about. So maybe you can get into this later with your co-students and talk about this. But my question was just referred to the fact that fast track students also can do an exchange project like everyone else.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And Grand Tour also. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then, if there are no other questions left, then that's us for today. Then I thank you very much, Henry. And
thank you.
Thank you, Merlin. And thank you also, you guys, that you were here with us and asked some live questions too. And I wish you a lovely night, a good weekend, and until the next time.